Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. James 3:5 KJV, King James Version. Here's a depiction of the great Trump in his pride. I will ascend above the stars. I will be like the Most High God. Trump Towers are falling. This was done a few years ago. I did this up. Variance. I'm not even sure what that means. Maybe somebody can help me. Lies. We know he's covetous. We know that he has been supported by a lot of Word of Faith ministers. Paula White was his personal pastor one time. She was some bewitching person in Florida. I don't know if she still is. But Word of Faith was behind him, and undoubtedly they gave some of their money that was gleaned from their offerings from the widows and those that are feeble-minded. But here is the prediction, this is a prophetic drawing, a rendering of Trump Towers falling, and he's falling like he's a statue because he's worshipped. You remember when Lenin, they brought down the statues of Lenin all over? There was different sizes and stuff, but the main one in Russia, how they pulled it down. This is what this reminds me of, is the statue of Trump is coming down. He is coming down, but not as we would think. He will survive as the dragon survives. 2 of its heads are wounded, but he continues to come at you. And this is a spirit of Antichrist that is supporting Trump, that gives him the ability to continue through these attempts to bring him down. However, he will come down. The towers will fall. There will be a great earthquake, a great shaking. And I don't know if it's the final earthquake as recorded in Revelation, where the 2 witnesses had been lying in the streets for 3.5 days and they didn't even bury them because there was such a hatred towards the prophets who were anointed to turn water into blood and to kill as many as they would with fire that would try to harm them. I don't know if it's the earthquake that followed after they came up, rose from the dead, from the streets, and the voice from heaven said, "Come up hither," and they were risen up and ascended into heaven. And when they did, there was a great earthquake, and 7,000 people were killed. And there was also a cry that God was Lord. There was people that were glorifying God during that earthquake. But that is the earthquake that actually will destroy and flatten every mountain. And that's also a spiritual interpretation of every tower. The LGBT, the Apple Corporation, the Amazon, Target, NFL, Apple, I think I said that. All these are towers of witchcraft as they merchandise the people, and they become rich and wealthy, and they ascend. There's this pride that comes with it. And also, I forgot to mention Facebook. There's this pride that comes into them as they prosper as the devil gives them the kingdoms, because they worship the devil, that's his reward for them temporarily until they are used up, and then they are destroyed by the brightness of the coming of Christ. He destroys them with his brightness. When Jesus comes as a thief in the night, because during the time there will be great prosperity, people marrying, mostly gays marrying. Those that aren't gay usually don't marry these days because they don't believe they can stay together that long anyway. They don't want the hassle of going to the court and filing for divorce. They're weak in the mind, and they have no heart to stay together with their partners. They're fornicators, and it's just they wear each other out, and then they change partners. And this is the spirit of Antichrist that is also flooding the world. There's no morality. There's only whatever you think is good, do it. And we have people with reprobate minds who have no restraint on doing evil. So this is all part of this. As we see the towers fall, we know that the end is near. And there's been many mockings about the end is near. And those who mock are the ones who will go into the earth and be swallowed up, as those who despise Moses. You remember the leaders, 250 princes of Israel and their congregations rose up against Moses and said, "Who do you think you are? We're holy too. You know, who have you made yourself up to be, some kind of prophet?" And so there was this great showdown, and this is going to happen in the church, in that these people that will not submit themselves to the authority of the prophetic word, that is the testimony of Jesus Christ flowing through his people, his servants, when they reject that, they say, "Cause not the Holy One to be here. Get him out of the way. We want to serve our flesh." And they even say it that way through their songs, as they dance and they shake and they cut themselves as though they were like Baal worshippers. You remember what happened on Mount Carmel when Elijah challenged all the prophets of Baal and the prophets of Jezebel. Remember, Jezebel had her own prophets also, and they were all together, 900 of them. And the challenge was the sacrifice, which one God was going to answer, because they still believe in God. That's what's really amazing. Trump believes in God, but the God of this world he serves, and the lusts of the devil he has, because his father is the devil. And those who follow in these footsteps also bless those that are covetous. You've done great works. You've robbed the poor. You've been so clever. You've lied. And look how you've grown up and ascended up into the stars, above the stars. And this is the pride of the boasters, the men and women who gain riches, unjust gain. They look to trap people so that they can steal from them, privily steal, so that they don't have any idea. This is all what's going on. Jesus said, "In the last days shall be as in the days of Lot, eating, drinking, giving in marriage, buying and selling," and also in the days of Noah. In the days of Noah was the same kind of activity, evil imaginations, and there was no restraint and to do evil. And it said every thought of the people was to do evil continuously. And so that's where we're going now. It's a repeat, but only in the grand sense of going to Armageddon. This is the gathering of the storm. The storm is breaking forth, and that which is good is hated, and that which is evil is received, and Barabbas is received, and Christ is denied and crucified afresh, and the Son of God is put to an open shame. That's the rambling today. It's a rambling of storm. It's gathering ourselves together, strengthen the things that remain. Let no man take your crown. Do not bow. Do not bow to the towers. Do not worship Trump. Because when you worship the Trump, you worship the beast. Because he is the mark. And those who worship the beast receive the mark. And there is no forgiveness. There is no undoing. Because once you're sealed by the beast, by the mark, you are damned. That's it. That's all.